My name is Miha, Možina. I come from company Sensum, and I'll be an entertainer for next 30 minutes. In Sensum, we make inspection systems for tablet, capsules, and softgels. So these inspection systems inspect products when they are in bulk. So we remove defects from the bulk before we send the bulk to packaging. But today, I did change the title a bit because I want to address the topic slightly different as initially planned. I don't want to present this topic from my point of view as a salesperson, but I want to present this topic from your point of view as a buyer and user. So let's see if you like that. But first things first, I was here 3 years ago, and 3 years ago I presented some different type of defects and their origin. So from some defects from tablets, different from capsules. And we discussed that some defects can come from formulated causes and some from process-related causes. For example, if we have a tablet and there is a black dot, well, black dot can come from a raw material, that would be formulated cause, or it can come from tableting, from scorching, and that would be more process-related cause. Same goes for capsules, and same goes for soft gels. There are different process steps, and each process step can contribute to some quality issues at the end. And knowing all these defects can help us optimize processes. But today we will not speak about this because this is what I presented 3 years ago. But if you're still curious to know more about this, this is our webpage. There's a blog there. There are 3 different papers there, one just for tablets, one just for capsules, and one just for soft gels. What I will speak about today was actually inspired by my recent visit in Poland at my customer. So I came to this customer, and I made this grand presentation of our solutions. And they loved it. And they said, Miha, we have these manual inspections for so many years. We want to improve this process. And you have exactly what we need. And of course, I was happy, right? There's a new project incoming. And I'm fooling you not. In 2 days, I got an official request for quotation with URS, everything. It's never that fast. So they were really rushing this. So I took time, made all the answers, prepared the quote, provided them all the options, made a nice package, and gave them the package. They took the package and went to the management, gave the package to the management. Just 1 day later, the management made a very nice response. You found a very nice solution, but unfortunately, we have more critical investments right now. So what do you think? Why did they respond like this? Even though the production team really wants to improve their process. So this is what I want to talk about today. But before we continue the story, just a 2-minute introduction from our company. Sensum, where I worked for 16 years, comes from country Slovenia, and where we develop and where we manufacture all our machines. Now, this is the machine that is our most popular product. It's called Spine, and you find this machine all around the world, from Japan, China, Southeast Asia, India, Middle East, Turkey, Europe, Americas. So it's really everywhere, exactly this one, for all sorts of products, tablet, capsules, or soft gels. And this machine is more or less, it's in many well-known companies. You know, I will not even list them, but like AstraZeneca, Novartis, and so on. So going back to the story from Poland, I did not offer something strange to them. I offered very standard machine. Something which is used worldwide and is well tested, a mature product, right? So from technical point of view, there were not many risks. So what did happen Why did management so quickly answer negatively to the request of production? So they made a very simple business case. So, and how to do a business case is, well, there are two questions we have to answer. How many people we save, or we then can put those people in other processes because we do automatization on certain part of production, and how much does the machine cost? Dividing this investment with cost reduction, we estimate, here I just made up some numbers, but we get certain number. And 10 years, if you get number 10 years, your suggestion will be always postponed. Nobody will invest with 10 years return investment unless it's something super weird. Right? So this is with these numbers, you cannot get your process on a higher level. But let's play a game here. Let's imagine you are responsible for quality in your company. And you have people under you, and you have to do inspections sometimes. And because you are responsible for this process, you know when to do inspection and for what products to do inspection. Typically, when you do inspection, if for some reason AQL fails, AQL is more statistic approach to quality. You take a sample, you check the quality. If it's okay, you send it to packaging. If it fails, you have to do inspection. Sometimes there is customer demand to do inspection. A customer means more not from me as an end user who will eat this, but from a contract manufacturing point of view. If you produce for another pharmaceutical company, and they could ask you to do inspection. Sometimes there is a market demand, and there are other reasons. But what is important, you know when to do inspection. And you know your team looks like this, right? So when you collect your people, they have to work this job. This job is horribly, horribly difficult. It's a very difficult job. And again, because you are part of this process, you know why it's difficult. First of all, people run out of focus. You have to give people breaks all the time. And you never know how if they actually are focused on the job or not. A second thing is, you cannot push people into speed. Human eye is an amazing tool. Don't worry about that, I'm here. So human eyes is an amazing tool. If you give me a tablet or a capsule, I can find all the defects if you give me 10 seconds. I will do like this. I will find every single defect there. But if I have to inspect 10 products per second, not one per 10 seconds, but 10 per second, which is a realistic number in this kind of environment. So imagine 10, 10, 10, 10. This fast you have to inspect. Then suddenly this does not become so easy. And don't forget, there's not only one defect that you have to find. There can be 20 or more type of different defects that you have to focus all the time when you're doing that. Is it possible? No, it's not. And here is a nice example. We actually compared people to machines. And we took 42 defects. Why 42? Because there are 21 types of defects for that particular product, and we took 2 defects for each type. 42 defects, and we marked them with UV marker. UV marker is not visible to human eye, but also not to our machines, because our cameras are more on the infrared side, so they don't see UV marker. So we put those 42, and we put them into bulk, into one bin, put it on the machine, and then checked what machine found and what not. Machine found 41 or 42. Yes, one was missed, was a small defect of a scratch, which went to fraction of good products. Then we did the same. We took exactly same 42 products. We put them again in a similar bin. We gave it to the people. We did not tell them this is a test. They had no clue. Just a standard job. Please inspect this. They found 6 of 42. Right? So this is the real scenario, how a person, when under stress or when trying to meet some criteria is performing. And another thing, people have to be, sorry for this, it's a bit different, okay, whatever, have to be consistent. And we are consistent. People, we are very well consistent. We can be very, but in a wrong way. So ideally you want to be consistent in quality, but we are consistent in amount of rejection. If your team is used to, let's say you are still responsible for the team of manual inspection, if your team is is used to throw away 1% of defects, they will always try to throw 1% of defects away. So if you give them really good batch, almost no defects, they will suddenly find very small variations just to kick something out, just to be close to that 1%. Because if they reject nothing, there are questions. Nobody likes questions. Now, if you give them a very defective batch, they will not necessarily manage to reject everything, and also they're afraid to reject too much. So instead, they will go back, try to go back to 1%. Maybe they will reject 2% instead of 5%, which we have in the batch. Right? So people inconsistent in a wrong way. Now, there are other reasons why manual inspection has its shortcomings. I made it short here, not to be too long. But you as a quality production manager, you know this. So why when you propose something to the management, they say no? You know deep down, you know in your gut that you need this to work efficiently, but they say no every time. So let's have a look again what we had, this business case, right? So you have your team of dedicated people for manual inspection. You have the team who do it, and we know what the salaries are, and we know how much cost is generated there. So obviously, this we know how to integrate in our business case. The same, we have to go then a bit wider, right? So there is, after inspection, usually packaging. Are there any internal complaints or possible drops in OEE? Because maybe this product is suddenly tablet too thick or capsule too long, and it doesn't fit the blister. And the blister is stopping, they have waste, they're dropping OEE. Because human eye cannot measure the size accurately. If it's 5 or 6 millimeter thickness, human eye cannot see the difference. But machine can. So if this is happening, all these costs, not just waste cost, but also producing less, this opportunity, this needs to go into your business case. If you get an external complaint, more or less your business case will be saved. First of all, let's say you're a contract manufacturer and your customer gives you a call and says, last batch was not so good, huh? Now you get the complaint. You have to have some form of quality assurance. He needs to make some reports, root cause analysis. He needs to make corrective actions. And when auditor comes, he will see the complaint, he will again ask about this, again hours are spent on this. All these hours to our business case. If you get this batch back for some reason, and let's say your customer even says, we don't want to deal with this, too many defects, here is back, please fix it. Suddenly you have to inspect a batch, it comes back, but you don't have the people to that. Those people are already booked for other stuff. So what do? You start stealing resources. You take some from coating, some from tablet press, some from offices. You get people and you start inspecting. And you try to save the batch, send it back. But again, we don't put the salaries of these people to our business case. We put loss of opportunity because people from other processes came, other processes lagged, did less. If you can show company made 1 or 2% less because you had issues on the quality and inspection, your numbers will suddenly be fantastic and you will be viewed completely different. If you have to do a redo batch, which is even worse, then anyway, you have to do complete production and scheduling. So it's not just about material loss because you have to redo, but you have to also think of losses of opportunity, same way as what I mentioned here. It's just here are more direct and even bigger. Of course, there are additional costs if the batches are really going up and down from you to the customer. Usually it could be even from outside Turkey, could be customs in between and so on. Or is generating cost. Everything can be put there. Now I made, well. I made some numbers, not visible here because there is they rescaled my presentation. But I made some numbers in a way to land at 3 years. I was conservative with the numbers. I was not making up too much. And suddenly I got 3 years. Now I'll tell you like this, 3 years is still not good enough. If you want to become a critical investment, in my opinion, you should go below 1 year. So you have to find a way to really see larger picture and see how this thing will really impact the company as a whole. Now, if we let go this scenario a bit, you are trying to improve your process, and we change the scenario slightly different. Often also happens that the management comes to you as a production team and tells you, hey, you should improve this. We will buy a machine, especially maybe we also need a machine because we are applying to special tenders, we need to have a machine. Whatever the management has reasons, they tell you to find something. Well, in that case, obviously what you will do is you will find different solutions on the market. Here is fine, here is some other machine, which we don't care right now, and you will compare them, right? You will compare the speeds and how many cameras, you'll make a sell list, and you will really try to see what fits better for you. And at the end will be this line, price. This is not euro, this is a mistake. Huh? So there will be a price. So if you make an Excel table like this and you present it to your management, what will they pick? Lower price every time, right? This is not hard to estimate. So why? Well, the same reasons as what we had with manual inspections. The business case is favorable for this because we did not think of all wider topics. So what are the wider topics? When we're comparing maybe more machines, we have more costs, not just investment cost. This is the investment cost, the quote you get. But there's, of course, maintenance costs. But there are very important operation costs. With operation, they are also here with manual inspection. Operation costs would be salaries with manual. With machines would be more like machine capacity. Then we have power and so on. So you have operation costs. And also you have performance costs. And this one is the biggest. So you should go first to the most critical part. Performance costs, let's just give you a hint how big this cost can be. So imagine you have two machines. One, I'm not speaking about the price now, but one is worse and the one is better. Let's just have this scenario in our head. And one machine makes one extra false rejection. False rejection is when you throw good product away. Oh, again, okay, right. So false rejection, 1%. So if you inspect 1 million products per day, which is a very normal number, it can be often more, you will throw out 10,000 good products and reduce the yield for 10,000 of products. Now, if we say each product is at value at 5 Turkish lira, we are throwing away every day 50,000 Turkish lira. If I multiply this for 1 year, we are losing more than one machine every single year. And this machine will be in use for 10, 15, 20 years. So every year, you throw out one more machine. So this is why this part is so important. And only if you see that two machines are very comparable on this part, then you can move here and here. And the management should not make estimation only on one number, but other, because other numbers can bring much, much more costs. This number, yeah. All right. So this is why in Sensum we always say try before you buy. Especially if you have no experience with this kind of machines. These machines that are out there are very different one from another. Our machine uses some kind of vacuum, somebody else uses belts, everybody writes his own software. We use completely different type of cameras. The technology is different to the core. It's impossible to compare it by paper. You have to try. If only by trying you will know what you are getting. And this will stay with you for many years. So that's why try before you die, not die, buy, and please save yourself and the company from a wrong decision. Because at the end, what you don't want is to have a machine which will give you a headache. And I was a year ago, I was in Merck in Germany, and I was sitting on the table, and there was a head of procurement, and he was looking at me, and he was, Miha, your quote is the most expensive of supplier. And I was, how do you respond to that, right? So he tells you, you are expensive, man, right? And of course, I was looking, trying to see how I can fit into there, but at the end he said, this was the third machine Merck bought from us. He said, what I love about Sensum is, once I buy it, I never hear from you anymore. So machine, once he makes a signature, it goes to technical team, is installed, is in use, and no headache comes back to him. Because machine is working. But if you're throwing 1% of the product, or 2, or 3, or 5 away on daily basis, you bet the problem will go back up. So try before you buy, and just do a bit of due diligence thing, or how they call it in contract and so on. Right? Just to finish my presentation, I would like to give you 2 takeaway messages. First of all, when you are trying to convince somebody to do something, you have to be a bit courageous, right? You have to take some numbers, you have to kind of grab some other people, get some numbers together, and maybe sometimes it might seem optimistic business case, but it's usually not really optimistic. We people have very hard time estimating these kind of things. So, but the costs are enormous once you have a look in the back. So when you are making internal business case, you have to go out there to other processes, get some numbers, and be a bit of courageous in order to get your improvement that you wish to do. The second one is this one. So if you already have similar system, and when you are buying a new one, try because investment cost is not the biggest cost there. Try as a takeaway message in Slovenia, we say often, maybe also here in Turkey, the cheapest is not the cheapest. So this is usually what we say. Now, just to finish off, I want to burn this image into your brain, just a bit of sales at the end. Spine machine for tablet, capsules, and softgels is exactly the same machine for all products. The only thing we have to change is certain tooling here, and I can go from tablet to softgel, or softgel to capsule, to empty capsule, to whatever. So there's really one machine which is completely versatile as a platform for all kind of products. One which is becoming very, I think it's a very nice solution, is spine fiber. It's the same system. This top part is the same, is inspection, 100% inspection. 100% inspection meaning every single product from all angles. And then removes defects and fills into bottles only good products. So all sort of risks that are completely removed compared to more conventional electronic counters. Very popular system in India because they anyway produce so much into bottles, especially for US market. So now, let's say here in Europe and also Turkey, blister is more popular form of packaging. It's not as popular around here, but still very, very useful because this machine can also work without bottle filling, just as inspection. So if you have irregular bottle lines, you could have this, you could do the bottle filling, but then you could also inspect the bulk the same way as the previous machine, right? So gives some good stuff from the both worlds. And with that, I would like to conclude my presentation. And hopefully I told you something they can take away.